So far we have learned different aspects of Power BI, different functionality and operations of Power BI for business intelligence. Now let's connect the dots and build a proper project. In this project we are going to build a proper dashboard, and later on we are going to publish that dashboard as well on Power BI service, right? So in this module, we are going to build a project that will help you out for your portfolio as well. That you can write it in your resume as well. That will help you out a lot for interview purposes as well. We are going to publish that particular dashboard that we'll build over here right now, and then we'll see how we can share that dashboard with other collaborators as well. Finally, we'll schedule how we can automate data refreshing, which means that we have created a report. Now what if at backend data keeps on changing? Do I have to refresh my report manually? No, not at all. We can automate that process. So let's have a quick look at the final project. So this is kind of a dashboard. It's not very fancy. Maybe the color scheme is not up to date. I'm not putting a lot of focus on color scheme. Why? Because it is dependent upon your organization where you're working. Every organization has different theme, different color scheme, different logos and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go with very simple color scheme, and this is the kind of dashboard that we are going to build up, and it is going to be a very interactive dashboard, which means that, for example, here you can see we have years. In our data we have only 2 years, 2019 and 2020. If I'll click on 2019, all the data will be updated according to this filter. Only the data of 2019 will be displayed all over. And if I'll click on 2020, all the data of 2020, only 2020 will be displayed. Same goes out if I'll click on any of the months over here. So for the data for particularly that month will be visible only, and so on and so forth. This is how we can work with we can create an interactive report, and later on we are going to publish this report on Power BI service. So let's get started. Alright, so let's get started with the project, and here you can see we have a pie chart over here, and then we have a donut chart followed by 4 cards that are displaying the sum of the number of units sold, then sum of revenue, sum of cost, sum of profit, and then we have a filter over here that is a very interactive filter, which means that if we'll click at 2019, it will display only the data of 2019, and so on and so forth, right? Here we have metrics, here we have a tree map, here we have bar chart, and here we have the Gantt chart. So let's get started from the right bottom, which is this one, the Gantt chart, right? So first of all, we'll come over here and we'll import the data. So we are going to work with the cookie data set once again, and it will take some time to load the data set. So as usual, we are going to select all 3 tables, and then we are going for data transformation, right? So E part is done from ETL. E means extract, so extraction is done. Now we are going for transformation. We are not going to work a lot on transformation. We are just going to add a merge query over here in Power Query Editor. What is a merge query? I'll let you know, don't worry about that. So first of all, I'll select the main table in which I'm interested, that is the orders table. I'll go to this merge query option over here, and I'll say merge queries as new. So I'm going to create a new table that will be a joined table of existing multiple tables. For example, from orders I need this customer ID to be linked to customers table based upon the customer ID, right? That's it. And here it is mentioning all different types of joins with which I can join. I want to use left outer join. You can use right outer join as well, depending upon your need, and the description is also visible. Yep, that's about it. And then I'll say okay, merge it depending upon customer ID. So here we go, it is merged, and here we have to rename this table. So I'll say master orders, right? Since this is a master table, and then I'll drag it over here at extreme right. We have the customers column, and here you can see table. So I'll click over here at double arrow sign, and it will open up all the column names over here. So it will ask me whether I want to expand or aggregate. So I want to expand basically without customer ID because it is already there in orders table. So it is also asking me to use the original column name as a prefix, I'll say yes, do it. So I'll check it and I'll say okay. Why? Because it will mention that this particular column belongs to another table. For example, here it says customer dot name, so which means that the customer name is coming from some other table, customer phone number is coming from some other table, right? So now my master orders table is ready. So here I have a revenue column, I have a cost column. I want to create another column called profit column, but I'll do that by using DAX query. So for now, transformation is done. I'll close and apply this to load the data. So ETL part is completed, and now my data will be loaded over here, and here I'll create a new and cool kind of a dashboard. So let's wait so that the data will be loaded. Okay, cool. So data is loaded over here. Yeah, so we have all three tables, cookie type, customer, and orders, but we are interested in this new table, that is master order. So this table contains all the fields of customer table as well and order table as well, right? So first thing first, let's go for the gauge chart from here. I'll click on this gauge. I'll drag and drop it over here. And what is the maximum value? Actually, before that, we also have to calculate the profit as well. So I'll click on this revenue column. I'll say new year. I want to create a new year. I hope you guys already have an idea how to create the new year, right? So it will open up a query editor here for me. Come on, do that. Here we have it. So I'll name it as profit, and here I'll say sum of order revenue. Okay, take its sum and close the sum method, and then subtract again the sum of it does not matter if you work with the order table or master. Let's be consistent and work with master table rather than working with order table. So also here I'll add master. So I'll say I'm talking about the master orders, right? Great. So yeah, I think we're good to go, and profit should be added. I'll click over here. It is working on it, and here we go. So profit is added over here. Cool. So now we have revenue, we have cost, we have profit, we have units sold, and we're good to go. So first of all, at maximum value, I'll add the revenue, right? So this is the overall revenue that we have collected, right? That is almost 5 million. And what was the cost? So the cost, I'm adding this cost in the value, so almost 2 million was the cost, and I'm adding profit over here at the target, right? So here we go, right? So profit is also added over here. Cool. Okay, so now we have an idea that this is the overall revenue, this much was the cost, and this much is the profit. Cool. Overall, it also makes sense. If 5 million is the revenue, 2 million is the cost, then 3 million is going to be the profit. Makes sense. Okay, so one chart is ready. What next? Let's have a look. So here we are creating a tree map that is showing the names of the customers, so some of the unit sold by customer name. Okay, so we are gonna go over here at tree map, drag and drop it over here, and we are going to get sum of the units sold with respect to the customer names. And we have selected both of these columns, and here we go. Our table is ready. We will drag and drop it to its relevant location, right? And let's adjust this map as well. Cool. Now what is next? Next is we have to create, let's work on this one. So it says total profit and sum of revenue by customer city. So here we are displaying the city names, and we are showing sum of revenue and total profit as well. So first of all, we'll get a bar chart, and here we'll drag and drop what. So we need, first of all, we need cities. So we'll get the cities, and then we are mentioning what? We are mentioning revenue and the profit. Okay, so here is the revenue. We'll check the revenue. We'll check the profit as well. That's it, right? So both of these things are also added. Cool, makes sense. Okay, next thing. So next thing is we have to create a matrix where we are showing the names of months, then sum of cost, total profit, and sum of revenue. Okay, so here I'll click here at the blank space, then I'll get the matrix over here. Okay, and here I need to get the from date, this date hierarchy. I only need the month, and here we go, the months are listed, and then I need the total revenue, then I need the total profit, and I need the total cost. Great, so I have all these three things over here. I'll just adjust it according to its length. Great, cool. Okay, so it is also done, and let's just test it. So if I'll click on August, you will see all rest of the values are also changing. I'll hit on October, rest of the value here, just look over here, the cost will change. April, and the cost is changed. If I just click on this client, ACME Bytes, rest of the values are also changing accordingly, right? So and in order to get rid of the filters, I'll just click anywhere at the white space and it will be resetted. Cool. Now we need to create this pie chart that is creating total profit by product, right? So here we have the product names, and then we need to calculate the profit. So what will we do? We'll fetch the pie chart, we'll drag and drop the item names, the product names. Where are the products? So here we have the products, so I'll click over here, and I'll click over here on the profit as well, right? So I'll drag and drop it according to our requirement, right? So here we can see the chocolate chip has the maximum profit, and so on and so forth. Cool. Next thing, we have this same kind of donut chart that is displaying product count by customers state. So which state has how much product count? So I'll come over here, I'll pick this donut chart, I'll pick the states, and I'll pick the number of units sold, right? Here we go. So let's just adjust these charts accordingly, according to the size. Come on, I don't want to use any filter, buddy. Okay, great. I think from bottom I also have to fix it. No, yeah, great, now it's fine. So here we can see at the legends we have the states, at the legends we have the products, and here we can see the profit, and here we can see the sum of units sold. What next? Next we have these charts. So we have 4 charts over here. So I'll simply come over here. Actually, chart means this card, right? So I'll click over here, and I'll make it smaller. I need to make it even smaller. Okay, so here I'll simply get the number of units sold, sum of the units sold, and I'll simply copy and paste it 3 more times because I need 3 more charts. 1, 2, 3. Cool. So this trick will save some of our time. So I'll click over here that says sum of units sold, and I'll uncheck this one. I'll check the profit. For this one, I'll again uncheck units sold, and I'll check on revenue. For this one, I'll again uncheck the units sold, and I'll check the cost. So here we go. So now we have sum of the cost, sum of the revenue, sum of the profit, sum of the units sold as well. All right, so last thing that we need is this filter, the slicer, right? So there is very less space over here, so let's squeeze them a little bit. Okay, great. So we have this much of a space. So here we are going to get a slicer, and we'll adjust its space later on. So here we need to get the year. So from date, we'll get the year over here. We'll simply check it. So by default, it brings us this kind of a slider from here. Okay, So it says if we want to format it, we have to go to its styling. So we'll come over here, we'll say slicer settings, style. We want to make it a tile format, right? So you can play around with different formats. We have between format, we have drop down format as well, but tile format looks better to me for now, for our particular format in which we are working. Okay, so I'll drag and drop it to further adjust it. Oh, we have very small space over here. What we can do, let's squeeze these cards a little bit so that we can get more space. Okay, we'll quickly do that, and let's squeeze this card as well, squeeze this one. You see this red line, it allows me to adjust my card or any chart with reference to the chart that is above or right side or maybe left side to it. Here we go, now it looks better. Great. So overall, if you see, we are able to create almost exactly the same thing that we created over here. Just one thing left, that is the background color. So you can add any background color according to your need. All you have to do is you have to select a chart. You know how to create a background, you know how to add the background color. Go to general, go to effects. Here we see background. You can pick any color from here. I'll go with let's say with this one, and then I'll click over here. Again, I'll go with this one in recent colors. With here, I'll go this one over here. Come on, let's do that quickly. For profit, I'll go with again same color. Actually, I'm gonna add the same color at all the backgrounds over here as well. And how many charts are left? Only 2 charts are left. Okay, so we are almost there, and here we go. Make sure if you're using any dark color for the background, then the text color should be white or at least light color, so that text is more visible, I mean easily visible. Okay, now you can see these white spaces that are denoting the adjustment of charts was not done properly. Okay, great, good to go. Only we need to change the color of this chart as well. How we can do that? So we'll come over here, we'll say style presence default, we'll change it to flashy rows. Great, awesome, works fine for us. Here we go. So our dashboard is ready in almost 15 minutes, right? I'll click over here at 2019, you see all the chart is updated, whole chart is updated. In 2019, only 1, 2, 3, 4 months of data is available. I click on 2020, whole data of 2020 is available. I just want to have a look at the profit of Green Bay City. I'll click over here, and here we go. Now only the data for Green Bay City is available. I want to have a look at the data for the month of, let's say, November. I'll click over here, and you can see the data for the month of November is highlighted in different charts, right? If I want to have a look at the data from the Wholesome Food, that is one of my clients, so I'll click over here, and you can see all the charts are adjusting themselves accordingly, right? So this is another kind of cool thing that works for us. And if I want to, I can add multiple filters as well. For example, here I want to get the data of Wholesome, and I also want to check for September. So I'll simply press the control button, and I can select multiple filters. For example, September, control button, hit on December. Now September and December, for both of the months, data is visible now, right? So this is how we can create our dashboard. Color wise, it is not very cool, but functionality wise, it is awesome, isn't it? Moreover, you can also work with these pie charts as well. For example, if I click over here at chocolate chip, now only the data for chocolate chip is available. If I come over here, how much chocolate chip is bought by ACME bytes, here we go, right? Tooltip is also helping me out a lot. How much profit am I making on just on just chocolate chip, here I can see 768,000, and how much sum of revenue is over here with respect to month for chocolate chip, and so on and so forth. It is an awesome thing, believe me or not. Okay, so we have created our dashboard, and now we'll see how we can publish it and share it with others. Okay, so now in order to publish this dashboard or this chart, whatever you want to call it, at Power BI service, so that if we do not have our particular machine with us, and we are traveling somewhere, but we have just a Microsoft account, how we can access our data, how we can access our dashboard, right? Or how we can share this dashboard with the millions of users that are there on Power BI. Or even if we don't want to use, we want to share it with the millions of users that are there on Power BI, we just want to share it with our colleagues, we can do that, right? So here we have this publish button, right? So first of all, we need to publish it. So I'll click over here, and in order to publish it, I'll first have to save it, obviously. Let me call it cookies dashboard, right? I'll save it, and again, in order to publish it, I have to have a valid Microsoft account, right? So it is very simple to create, so go ahead and you can create it. Once you will create it, I have already created it, and I have linked my account to Power BI, right? You can see my name over here, my picture over here. So I have a simple Microsoft Outlook account, or whatever account you want to call it. Once you have created the account and you will click on publish button, it will ask you to link that particular account with Power BI. So I have already linked my account with it. So I'll click over here at my workspace. I have not created any workspace, so this is the default workspace, right? So I'll click over here and I'll select. So if you have multiple workspaces in your Power BI service account, all the workspaces will be listed over here. I'll talk about more about workspaces, so don't worry if you don't get it, right? So by default, there is one workspace that is called my workspace. I'll select it, and I'll then select this button. So it is publishing on my Power BI service, right? So let's wait. So here we go. So it is published. It says success. It is published. I can go to my Power BI account by clicking on this open cookies dashboard in Power BI. So if I'll click over here, it will open it in the service, right? Let me click over here. So here it is asking me for the account that my Microsoft account that I have linked with the Power BI. So I've selected the account, and now it is opening my dashboard over here, right? So here you can see the trial period. I've been using free account, and free account gives you a trial period of 60 days. So it is my 59 days left. Cool. So here we go. So our dashboard is published over here. Now, if I do not have my own laptop and I am somewhere nowhere where I just have internet access and any computer machine, I can simply log into my Power BI app, Power BI service account, and I'll have access of my dashboard. And not only that, I can still use the filters as well. Here we go, right? I can use all the filters. For example, the month of September, and so on and so forth, right? I can use all the filters, I can use all the functionality, right? So this is how we can publish our dashboard. Moreover, here, this is a complete universe. You can see I have workspaces, right? This is the workspaces that I was talking about. If I'll click over here, I can create a new workspace if I want, but I don't need that for now. By default, I have one workspace that is called my workspace. And moreover, okay, I'll go to my workspace as well later on, but I wanted to show you guys that I can share it, right? So if I'll click over here, and here I can write the email addresses of all my colleagues, my friends with whom I want to share it, right? So I'll write their email addresses over here, and then I'll click send button. If I want to add a message as well, it will an email will be sent to all the people for which I'll be writing their emails over here, and they will be able to get access to this dashboard as well. Moreover, if you have a Teams account, you want to share it with all the teams, you can use this icon from here. You can also send a link from here as well, right? So this is how you can share your dashboard. You can share your working with your team as well. Now, if I go to my workspace, right? you can have multiple workspaces. My workspace is called my workspace for now. So here I have all the reports published. I have only 2 reports. So basically this sort of signal signs, they mention that this is a report, and this sort of a dice sign represents that this is a data set. So whenever you will publish a report, a data set will also automatically be published alongside with the report. So here I had previously worked on a dashboard that is published over here, and this is the data set that was associated to that particular report. So the name of the data set and name of the report, name of the dashboard, or whatever you want to call it, is going to be exactly the same, right? So here I have cookies data set. I can click over here, it will open up my cookies data set. Cool. Now let me go back to MySpace. So here I have refresh now button, right? I can if the data at backend changes, I can refresh it, and my actual charts will be updated accordingly. But for now, here you can see the error message. It is not refreshed automatically. Why? Because there is an issue, and I'll talk about that issue in a while. Moreover, here we have another icon that says schedule refresh. What if we don't want to work with the manual refreshing, right? We don't want to hire someone who keeps refreshing this data set again and again. We want to schedule it. For example, it should be refreshed at the end of every day. For example, it should be refreshed after every 1 hour, after every 15 minutes. So how can we do that? We'll see. So let's set this let's schedule the refresh. So I'll click over here at that icon, and it will open up. It says last refresh failed, right? So I'll let you know why it has failed. Basically, here we have gateway connections. We need to connect our service with our Power BI desktop. So I'll click over here, and it will show the gateway connection to me. Here we go. So it says you don't have any data gateways, right? In order to create the data gateway, I need to install gateway first. So how can I install gateway? I have multiple ways. First is I can click over here, the button that says install now. Second is here I have the download icon. I'll come over here, and here it says data gateway, right? I can click over here at data gateway, or I can click over here at install now. Both of the options can work, right? Once you will click there, an exe file of almost 430 MB will start downloading. I already have downloaded that exe file. Over here you can see, right? So go ahead and download this exe file, and once you are able to download it, I have not installed it yet, so that we install it together. So I'll double click over here in order to install it, and then I'll give the address where I want to install it. I'll accept the terms. I'll say install. It will take some time to install it. So here it is asking me to write my email address, and I'll use the same email address to which my Power BI account or my Outlook or Microsoft account is created. So let me do that. It is signing in. Okay, great. So it says that the gateway is online and ready to use. So okay, great. So I'll just uncheck it. I don't want that, so I'll close it. Simple. Great. So my connection is created. I'll go back to the browser. I'll simply refresh my browser so that it can fetch the updated status, and I'll drag, and here gateway connection. Here we go. You can see the connection is running at the desktop, and my desktop name is also visible. I can also delete this connection if I want, right? Now next thing is here it says that data source credential failed to test connection to your data source. Okay, so I'll say edit credential. All right, here sometimes the data sets, the Excel files, they have the password. So here it says privacy levels setting. I'll say none. I have no privacy level setting, so I'll say sign in, and then this error should go away. Cool, awesome. So now if I'll come over here, there is an option called refresh, and before I go to this option, I'll go to my workspace, and I'll come to my data set. Here you can see the last refresh was 8:37, and now if I refresh it again, let's see if it refreshes or not. Here it is working. 8:37 was the last time. Let's see. if it updates and refreshes itself or not. It is taking some time. And here we go. Now you can see 847. So it has refreshed itself. So the data has refreshed. Now if we go to schedule it, and down the line we have refresh option, and down the line it is off, so we'll turn it on. So from here we'll select the frequency, it's daily or weekly. So we want to go with the daily. Then the time zone with which we want to work on, let's say, oh, what happened, I don't know. Let's say from here we want to work with the, let's say, Abu Dhabi dataset, or Abu Dhabi time zone, and then we'll simply say, yeah, apply. So this data will automatically be refreshed daily, right? So here we can add another time, as we can add a particular time of the day, we can add particular multiple times of the day as well, for example at 1 p.m. and then after at 1 a.m. So this data will be updated after every 12 hours, right? So I can simply say apply, and the schedule is added. Great. So the refresh schedule is, yeah, it is added. Yeah, I can add as many times as I want. Okay, moreover, if I go back to my workspace now, if I'll make, and I can surely refresh it manually as well any time I want. So if I open up this dashboard over here, and at backend I'll make some, if I make some changes, let me open up it here in this tab because it is making stupid sign-in requests. So this is the data that I have now, right? So if I make some changes back at the data set, let me make a few changes at the data set now. And if I go to the Excel file, let's make this chocolate chip as not chocolate chip but only chocolate. Okay, yeah, only chocolate. Okay, and I'll simply drag it to all the columns. Just a second. Come on. Oh, it's playing with us. So we just want to stop at chocolate chip. Yeah, here. Okay, so now all the chocolate chips have become chocolate. I'll simply save it, and I'll come back over here. Now if I refresh it, let's see if this product that says chocolate chip will refresh or not, will convert to chocolate or not. Let's wait for a while. We have made a refresh request, and let's see. Okay, so basically we have to refresh the data set as well. So I'll go to my workspace. So this particular data set, I'll refresh it, and it will take some time. Here we go, it is refreshing, and once it will be refreshed, then we'll go to our dashboard because we have made changes into the data set, and we have scheduled the refresh at the data set as well. So I'll go to the dashboard and see how it looks like. Still says chocolate chip, and now if I refresh it, it should show chocolate. Here we go, right? It has also updated its color as well. So this is how we can make changes. We can detect changes that are made in backend at the dataset, and you can see everything is updated accordingly as well. The chocolate is changed over here as well, and anywhere else the chocolate chip was listed, that is also changed. So yeah, that's about it. That's about it from Power BI. I hope you enjoyed this course. I hope you have learned a lot from this course. If you have any question, you can let us know at any time.